Hi, this is Seth with Alliance Games. I'm here with Colin from Flat River Group.
Hello, my name is Colin Young. I'm with Flat River Group here with Seth from Alliance Game Distributors.
Do me a favor, tell me a little something about Flat River Group.
Flat River Group is not necessarily a publisher name that you would be familiar with yet. We do a bit of consolidating. We work with Impressions. It's one of our divisions, and they're a long-time consolidator of a lot of smaller domestic publishers. We also have the imprint Greater Than Games that was recently acquired, and they have a number of titles that you may be familiar with, including Sentinels of the Multiverse, as well as the Spirit Island franchise. And then we also have in our games division a series of publishers from Europe, such as Yellow, where people may be familiar with the King of Tokyo line, as well as other European companies like Horrible Guild, who is best known for Potion Explosion, Dragon Castle, as well as the Railroad Inc. line.
Okay. You brought us a game today to show us from them, right?
Absolutely, we did. This is Evergreen. This is their latest game, which will be releasing later this fall, likely going to be releasing for the Christmas season.
Okay, awesome. Can you show us how to play real quick?
Absolutely. So this is a game that's going to be primarily driven by card selection, and all of these cards are going to give you two things to do on a turn. It's going to show you a different biome on your planet. There's going to be one of these boards for each player, so everyone is going to be building their own forested world. And each world has a series of different biomes, different areas on the board that are represented on these cards, and you're going to try to either grow sprouts onto the board or grow those sprouts into small trees and eventually larger trees, adding some bushes and rivers along the way in order to connect up your forests as well as help growth along the way.
That's wonderful. What are some of the win conditions?
The win conditions are pure points. You're going to be scoring points at several different times along the game. There are 4 rounds that will be played in which we are gradually going to move the sun during the seasons, and that's going to impact the way the shadows will hit, and you'll score for different configurations, different patterns of small and large trees on your board. You're also going to score after each round your single largest forest, which is going to be orthogonally adjacent large and small trees and some bushes, although these sprouts, while they have potential, don't yet count. So you need to really grow to get those points. Endgame scoring is going to be the last way you score, and that is going to be involved with this fertility zone of cards. We're going to have some of these that get drawn by players each round, but one of these will go into this gradually increasing pool of cards, and you're going to take the symbols that you see here, the fertility symbols, and multiply however many there are for a given biome against however many large trees you have in that biome at game's end for end game final scoring.
Okay, I see that. That's great. So Colin, can you show me just a little bit of how a turn would work?
Absolutely. So you're going to see down here there are several rounds, and each round is going to consist of gradually decreasing amount of turns, where every turn you're going to select one of the cards from the main tableau, and this will not be replenished until the end of the round, so whoever is the start player for that round will get to choose, and then as it goes around there will be fewer and fewer options. Each card, when you select it, will have a few different pieces of information. So let's say this round I want to take, let's go with this tundra biome. So what I'm seeing here is a symbol that will match up to the spaces in that different biome, and that will help for any colorblind customers. If the iconography on the card is a little off relative to the others, the symbol will always match up with the spot on the board that they're allowed to play, and this is going to tell you you have to play your action here. And on the board, there are 4 different options that you can choose for your action. You can either choose to plant 3 new sprouts in that biome, and they do not have to be adjacent. You can just take them from the pool and place them in any location that you think is appropriate for your play style. Or you can generically grow any 2 items on the board, and growth means that you're either taking 1 sprout and growing it into a small tree, or if you already have a small tree, you're going to grow it into a large tree. Now you must do those in 2 separate areas, so you can't double grow one area on your turn. You also have the option, if you would like, to plant 1 sprout and have 1 growth in 2 separate areas, or if you're really hard up and your card is not exactly what you would like it to be, you can choose to either do 1 sprout or 1 growth anywhere. It limits what you can do, but it increases where you can do it.
Okay, adds another little play style to it.
Exactly. Now you may be asking, what is this little symbol in the bottom right corner, Colin?
What is that little symbol in the bottom right corner, Colin?
Seth, that's a wonderful question. I'm glad you asked it. It gives you a special bonus power that allows you to further manipulate your board. Up here you'll see 6 little tracks that follow along with the increase of this ability. So if I were to take this card after or before I do this action, I'm going to look for this track and I'm going to increase it by 1, and that tells me how many times I can now take this action. This specific action means that I can grow one small tree into a big tree anywhere on the board. These special actions can be placed anywhere, so it gives a little bit more flexibility. And those 6 abilities are just going to be plant some more sprouts, grow some sprouts into small trees, grow some small trees into big trees, score some points with the buds, plant a river, or plant a bush. Now when I say plant a river, that's insane, because one doesn't plant a river. However, you would lay a piece down, and what that actually does is you can immediately grow any 2 orthogonally adjacent spaces popping up right away. Think of it as irrigating your forest.
That's awesome. I like that.
And so once you take your turn, you can choose to take your special action first or your regular action and then do the other. You wouldn't be able to split them up. After which, the next player in turn order will go. And you'll notice that there are 5 cards out and there are only going to be a max of 4 players. This is always going to have 1 card more than the amount of players at the table, because at round end, we are going to take whatever remaining card there is and we're going to stack it into this area of the fertility zone, and that is going to increase your large trees in that biome by the game's end. So you're having this gradually grow turn after turn, round after round. Now, if you were the first player and you took that, it was a very good action. I'm very impressed.
I too learn quick.
Absolutely. And so what you would do is you would take this and you'd leave it next to your board, and this is part of the turn tracker. You're also going to take your first player token, and now you're going to give it back to the board, and it's now up for grabs. If anyone takes the leftmost card available, and it could be this one, if you had taken the leftmost card, it'll just go on whatever the leftmost available is.
Okay.
If anyone takes this, they are the new start player for the next turn. If no one takes it, you get to stay start player. And that's how the flow of turns will change from turn to turn, round to round.
I really like that.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So how many players can play at one time?
So this is going to be for 1 to 4. It is going to be a competitive 2 to 4, but it also has rules in the back of the rule book for a solitaire version in which you're going to be playing against a fairly straightforward AI system.
Okay. And what do you think the age range is on it?
So it is printed for 8. When I used to work for a store, I would always let the customer tell me the best thing for their kids, but this is going to be something where if you have younger kids, you're going to want to kind of help guide them along what each of the different pieces are doing. You have a few different abilities, so that's going to be a little bit of a complication to set them up early, but comfortably at that 7, 8, 9 range, and then from there.
That's great. And what is a copy of this going to run?
This is going to be a $50 price point when it releases later this year.
Awesome. And when will it be available again?
This is going to, we're aiming, knock on wood, should be available for the November time, so just in time for the Christmas holiday.
Wonderful. And is there anywhere people can go online to get more information about the game?
I recommend going to Horrible Guild's website directly for the time being. They will have information about Evergreen as well as details about the rules and a lot more visual assets so they can really get a sense of what's going to be present in the game when they open the box.
That's great. Well, thank you very much, Colin, for showing us this
pleasure,
game.
Seth.
And when you're ready to get this onto your shelves, please reach out to your Alliance representative and get some for your stores.